shit. That affliction ain't no joke. It's hell. Yeah, it's hell. Salakia, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Actually, let me do this. Alright, Shalom, y'all. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit beareth witness that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, today I wanted to go live. I want to go live real quick on this. This basically like a news update, but basically what you have. Basically, yeah, I heard about the LA shooting of those cops. I just heard about it not too long ago, and that's and more of that's a sign of things to come. Like more of that shit. That's just the beginning. More of that shit is coming to this place, and I got an article on it. And Trump is basically calling them animals, and they need to be stopped, and they need to be like the animal government need to be caught and put to death, and the protesters are like. Basically, they're taunting these cops. They're basically like, yeah, that's what you get. I don't read it. Yeah. The two deputies, a male and a female, it's a Daily Mail article. A male and a female officer with the Transit Services Bureau were shot multiple times. A male suspect opened fire after jumping off a bus in the Metro Line Blue Station in Compton on Saturday. Video released by the Sheriff's Department shows the suspect walking up to the car and opening fire. So this out of, President Trump labeled the government an animal who deserves the death penalty if the officers die. Oh yeah. And shameful footage, of course Esau is hurt by this. It's Edomites that are saying this shit. Edomites, and there's of course Jakes in that movement. Shameful, but it's a shameful footage said to have been taken outside St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood on Saturday night. Hey, I for one don't give a fuck. I for one, we ain't worried about these Edomite cops, or even if it was a Jake like fighting for Esau and shit. I ain't worried about it. This is what has to happen. But basically, what he said on Saturday night shows what, as one protester yells. This is what he said right here. I want to deliver a message to the family of the pigs. I hope they fucking die. So they don't give a fuck. They're telling them outside the entrance and exit of the hospital emergency room. And the more that's gonna happen is people are just sick and tired of Esau Edom. They're sick and tired of these so-called authorities. They're sick and tired of the government, so they're like, they don't give a fuck. They blocked the entrance to the hospital emergency room and yelled, "We hope they die," referring to two LA sheriffs ambushed today in Compton. And I was in Compton, a heavy Jake area. There was riots in LA back in 1991. LA, that whole area is a heavy Israelite area. It's Jake over there got a warrior spirit, as well as in other areas, but in Cali, it's pretty heavy. Do not block emergency entries and exits to the hospital is what. People's lives are at stake. This is a tweet from the LA County Sheriff's. People's lives are at stake when ambulances can't get through. So they're basically these protesters are like, fuck these cops. We don't give a fuck if they die. The officers won. The 31-year-old mother of a 6-year-old boy was shot at the Metro Blue Line station in Willowbrook Avenue and Oak Street in Compton by a male suspect who then fled the scene. Donald Trump on Sunday said the man who opened fire should face a fast trial death penalty if the deputies die. He earlier called the shooter an animal who needed to be hit hard, as the family was called in to help investigate. And notice that these devils are like Donald Trump. Notice that devil don't have the same energy for a Jake that gets shot or murdered by the cops in some other way. It's always when one of them gets shot. Oh, now it's a problem. Shows you the hypocrisy and hatred this devil has for you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners. The president tweeted, "If they die, fast trial, death penalty for the killer. Only way to stop this." Exclamation mark. He had rewarded his son Donald Jr., who shared the footage, writing, "Please pray for these two sheriff deputies. Their lives matter. Hashtag Blue Lives Matter," which, no, you Edomite cops, or you cops that you know, oh, none of y'all like you cops, you centurions, y'all's lives do not matter. But of course, he, of course, this devil, he only cares about his own. Really, he means to say Edomite lives matter. Oh shit, Salakia. Joe Biden said this cold-blooded shooting is unconscionable and the perpetrator must be brought to justice. Violence of any kind is wrong. Those who commit it should be caught and punished. Jill and I are keeping the deputies and their loved ones in our hearts and praying for full recovery, which they're both on the same side. Joe Biden, he's shown, actually told y'all that he's for funding the he said he was for funding the cops even more, but we know that their agenda is to this devil talking about he praying for a full recovery. Yeah, he ain't praying to Yahweh Hashem. KKK Harris, she said, Doug and I are keeping the two Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies in our hearts as they currently fight for their lives after a horrific attack last night. The perpetrator must be brought to justice, which, of course, that's what you can expect from Kamala, the KKK cop Harris. Oh, Shalom, I ain't see y'all say Shalom, cause I have to be on the actual app to see your comment. But Shalom, Akim, Yahba Shimyao Shai Barakatah. Yeah, I go live on this cause this is an important development in the Civil War that's breaking out in this place. Cause Esau, like we were saying at camp yesterday, Esau, like that brother Lawan was saying, Esau he's gonna kill his own to get to Jake. That's how much of a devil he is. So this civil war is gonna be one group of Edomites, the MAGA hat, whereas the proud red devils, the Blue Lives Matter crowd, right? It's gonna be them versus the Antifa, the protesters, the BLM, and one group of Edomite is gonna fight another, and it's basically Esau fucking his own people over just to get to us. And it's gonna lead to that new world order, and that consolidated police force under the UN, instead of these different departments, which is them UN Gurkha troops. Protesters have blocked the entrance to the hospital where the two Los Angeles sheriff's deputies ambushed in the shooting Saturday are fighting for their lives, shouting, "We hope they fucking die." Hey, Esau has no love for each other. Esau hates their own. The officers won the 30-year-old mother of a 6-year-old boy. Okay, I think I read that one. I read all this shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was where Kamala KKK, the cop Harris, added her 2 cents. All right, now, yeah, I was there, so I'm gonna continue reading. Shameful footage said to have been taken outside St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood on Saturday night shows as one protester yells, "I want to deliver a message to the family of the pigs. I hope they fucking die." The protesters have been connected to the Black Lives Matter movement on Twitter, but this has not been officially confirmed. So they're already saying that they're with BLM. They're already saying that, the narrative is already being set. Oh, it's the BLM, anti-America Edomites, and you have Jakes in that movement too, and versus the pro-police, America fuck yeah, MAGA hat, red, proud red Edomites. It's already being set. It's already being pushed out there by the media. Another demonstrator yells police, y'all gonna die one by one. This ain't gonna stop. And it could be Jake's that definitely out there in the Compton area, in the LA area, because Jake is especially over there, they don't take shit from Esau as much as Jake's in other parts of Babylon. They're more okay. They would be the first. Jake's in those areas, and then Chicago, and where those gangs made a pact to shoot any cop that pulls a weapon on a suspect. In NYC, where they've been shooting cops. Jake's in these areas, they're more likely to. That's the first Jakes to get roused up, basically, and they're in these areas. On Sunday, the LA County Sheriff's Office tweeted to the protesters blocking the entrance and exit of the hospital emergency room, yelling, "We hope they die," referring to 2 LA cops. LA sheriff's ambush today in Compton. Do not share block. Okay, that's just I already read the tweet by those devils. Police on Sunday were still hunting the shooter, offering the $100,000 reward. They said it's already out there. It's a Jake. The suspect is described as a male, so-called black, 20 to 30 years old, wearing dark clothing. He was last seen in a black four-door sedan, cops said. So it's a Jake. It's already the narrative is already set, because really Jake is going to be blamed for this civil war. Jake, really the Hebrew Israelites, because I suspect that they're going to have some type of false flag, and they're going to blame it on one of the brothers. And it's going to be like, narrative is going to be like, these Hebrew Israelites radicalized the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives, and caused them, now they hate America or some shit. Just like with Esau's war against Ishmael, they say that the Al-Qaeda and them, they're radicalizing people. I can see them doing the same thing with the brethren. The same thing. Oh, and then as a reason to take our videos down, we're domestic terrorists, yada yada yada. You can already see that happening. Al Qaeda and them, we know it was set up by Esau Edom. We're not set up, but you do actually have controlled opposition groups within the Hebrew Israelites, but they're set up. You know, Yahweh Shem Shai is not working with them, and and they've been exposed. But you know, Esau gonna do his thing. They're gonna blame the Hebrew Israelites. This is y'all probably hold on. Let me unmute this bitch. So basically, this is y'all probably can't hear it. Y'all probably never mind. Y'all can't see videos that I put on here. Y'all can't see the video, y'all can only hear the audio. That's how this app works. Yeah. And Esau, Donald Trump, again, he calling our people animals and shit. Cause this aimed at Jake. They ain't gonna call no Edomites animals and shit. They consider our people to be animals. And Esau
2020, Toyota, vayamos juntos.
Fuck.
Black Families Care Board Prize African Town Coalition. We are out here at St. Francis Hospital, where two of America's most notorious gang members have been brought to. We're going to go up here and just check on these murderers right here and see what's up.
The biggest gang.
You know what I'm saying? So let me turn this around.
Biggest legal dude.
Let me put this blunt out. I'll say this for later. Unfurl those flags. Get those flags open. What's up, y'all? We're down here at the St. Francis Hospital. We're down here. Excuse me.
So we can visit someone.
No, you're not.
We can't go visit nobody?
You can once we confirm who it is, but there's no visitation allowed anyway, so you gotta go.
All right, y'all. You see what's happening right here, right? They got these pigs out here. They are telling us that we cannot come in here and see these individuals who's been shot down at the train station. You understand what I'm saying?
There's no visitation allowed, sir.
What?
There's no visitation allowed, sir.
Okay. This is a public hospital right here.
It's a private hospital.
And you telling us that we cannot
It's a private hospital, sir. It's a private hospital, sir. No, it's not. It's not county. It's private. You need to go. You need to go, sir. You need to go, sir. You need to go. Please.
Hey,
You need to go, sir.
let me tell you something.
Chris, got Eve out there.
I can walk.
You pushed that to me, sir. You pushed that to me, sir. Well, the line is private property. The line is
We all sick. We all got COVID.
This is a hospital.
What plan was that?
This is a hospital. Yeah, what y'all want to do? They done brought these women up. This is a hospital.
This is private property.
I can't push on no one. This is a hospital, man.
This is private property.
Of course, Eve. Okay, that's something else, I think. Yeah, that's a whole different subject, but that video that was coming up. But yeah, I seen that video where they tried to visit, where they tried to go in that hospital protest, and then Esau sent Eve over there to block them, of course. But yeah, shit's going down, and this is all according to prophecy. Yeah. Second Esdras chapter 15. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So that's what you see right here. You know, it could have been a false flag event, but you saw these were out there. People really be feeling about these pigs, about these centurions. That's how they really be feeling. And so, you know, it could have been a false flag event. It could have been, which is going to lead to that anyways. Or it could have been an organic event. Like Bakar Ahmad said. And it could have really been a Jake that was fed up with these pigs. So they shot him more. The people shouting that shit might have actually been real Jakes. You know, not like Jakes that are agents and shit. Or it could have been a false flag by Esau Edom, because we know how these devils get down. They use certain events like that to stir up the population, to create tension, or to make it even worse. We know how these devils work, so it could have been that. So we'll see. Hey, shit's popping off, and you that's just gonna make it worse. It's gonna get hotter out here, and action is gonna heat up, cause people's hearts out here going cold. They tired of it. They tired of Esau Edom, and they're ready to actually do shit like that. The vibe that's the vibe out there. Yeah, which is gonna lead to what? Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So Esau Edom is gonna lock these cities down. They're gonna have checkpoints out there. They're gonna have a curfew out there. If you get there, you'll get in. You know, it'll be, oh, no new people can come in, because you know what? Because it's also because people coming in from other cities, right? To protest and shit and riots. So you're gonna have Esau's gonna be like, no one can come in, and this in combination with the Rona madness, they may have it so you have to have the vaccine, you have to have the vaccine, you have to have a verification that you took the shit, and at a certain time you can't come in. Oh, sorry, you can't come in. Sorry, you can't come in. You know, like that's how it's gonna be. Shit's really gonna go down like that. This is also going to lead to a civil war, which is going to lead to this. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So cities are going to be troubled because of what? The civil war, civil unrest. And this is also the Egyptians being divided against the Egyptians, when we get that. Yeah, verse 19, the man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because that's all going to lead to a famine. The cities being blocked off, the Rona madness, the crops were destroyed. Like all that's gonna lead to that. Pain. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. The burden. Verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his neighbor, and everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So these different places, everyone against his brother. So the Antifa against these MAGA hatters is an example of that. These civilians versus these cops. Everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city. One city being on the side of the Antifa, one city being on the side of the Trumpers, and one city being majority Jake, one city being majority Esau, because these 2/3, like, they've taken the ways of Esau, Edom, who their master, who's modern day Egyptian. So, and then they're actually gonna come and fight against Esau, Edom. But still, using the ways of Esau, Edom, they're gonna try to use Esau's blessing against Esau. That's how this place is gonna go down. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. That's how it's gonna go down. Cause a house that's divided against itself, a house that's divided against itself cannot stand. And you know something about that? That was a speech by that Edomite President Abraham Lincoln. A house divided speech. Because Esau was divided back then against themselves. They the same nation, but they was killing each other. All over what? Who should own the slaves? It was not really about if they should be free, because we wasn't free. We was emancipated. So slaves was just transferred from one hand to another. One owner to another. That was what the fight was over. All people. And the fight, Civil War 2.0 gonna have to do with our people as well. And part of it is gonna have to do with our people as well. But with one group being for the cops, and one group being for this this federalized, this actually police force under the UN, because eventually that's what it'll lead to. So, like, different ways of dealing, like, different approaches to dealing with Jake. These Edomites should disagree on that. They're gonna fight with each other. Let me get it. A house divided cannot stand. It's actually scriptural. That's actually scriptural. Mark 3 verse 25. verse 23, almost third. And he called them unto him and said to them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, how can that kingdom cannot stand? Verse 26, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Verse 27, no man can enter a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. And, the keepers of the house, they're the economists. Economics goes into that. And they're gonna be in a bind. They're gonna be in a bind because of the Civil War. Really, they think that they're gonna get some by creating this chaos to bring about order. There's the elite. The elite families, like, they're shook, and that's why they're doing this. Okay, what I should say is that you have different levels of them too. You have the top elite, the people who run everything, and you have the lower level, the lower level luminaries. Wall Street bankers, the regular Wall Street bankers. Eventually, this is gonna all lead to their downfall, but they don't see the elite. They're doing all this shit. They're trying to accomplish a certain agenda, but it's gonna destroy this kingdom known as America. Cause really, they had no need for this old kingdom. Like, they trying to establish a new world order. So it's gonna be destroyed like that, except and then he will spoil his house. Verse 28. Verily I said unto you all, okay, that goes into something else, like, but yeah, this is Satan rising up against himself and being divided. So he cannot stand and have the end. That's the verse. That's the parable that Lincoln was quoting from, because they know that they're Esau, Edom. They know that they are. They know that they're Satan. They're the physical sons of Satan on earth. And if they divided, they cannot stand. Which apply to any kingdom. Our kingdom felt the same way. We was divided against each other. First house of Judah versus Israel. The history. Then these different Judites divided against each other, and then also, Israel was divided up many ways and has been divided. That's why we haven't been able to stand a chance. We haven't been able to do anything to these devils or do anything to stop the oppression. Well, Esau, Edom is nowadays divided. So the house of Esau, Edom, headed up by the chief house of Satan, the so-called Jews, the Jewish people that want to be Jews. They have a Jewish. Okay, them versus the rest of Esau. Esau house is being divided against each other in many ways as well. So Satan is rising up against Satan. So his house cannot stand. He had an end. We are at that end. We're at that end. That's actually how Satan is gonna fall. Because Russia, these Russian Edomites and these European Edomites, the 10 horns, they're gonna burn this place with fire. They're gonna nuke this place. So eat her flesh, burn her with fire, So that's Satan divided against Satan. And the Amalekites can be destroyed by other Edomites, by Russia, and by Turkey. Turkey is even the same tribe as them. The Turks are Amalekites as well. And so Esau is just divided on all fronts. So he had an end. So that's when I bring that out. It's an encouragement. Actually, we're almost there. Because Esau's end is whose beginning? Esau's end is whose beginning? And y'all should know. Y'all should know. Y'all should know. Esau's end is Jacob's beginning. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. And once we have it, this kingdom, we have it for good. They ain't coming back up. No other nation coming back up. We ain't going through another captivity after this one. This is over. This is it. It is finished. It is finished. The kingdom is given unto the saints forever and ever, man. Forever and ever. That's in Daniel. It's given unto the saints. No, you Edomites and you heathens are through. Through. This kingdom is everlasting. Salakia, long verse. Verse 40. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. No other captivity after this one, and it shall, and none after we get the kingdom. This kingdom is gonna stand forever. Alright. So I want to give all praise. So I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit beareth witness that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Shalom to real sisters out there, and stay strong. Akim and Akwad, men and women of valor. We the hopeful elect, keep that hope. We almost there. We almost out of here. Stay the course. Keep pushing, and don't give up. Alright. Shalom. We almost out of here. Elect, hopeful elect, men and women of valor. Shalom.